Hi, welcome to Digital Photography 1 and 2. Digital Photo is a 2-year CTE pathway where the students will get their Adobe ACA certification in Photoshop, which is the industry standard that most professional photographers use in their day-to-day workflow. My name is Erick Miseroy. I've been teaching for 24 years in total. I started at North High School in Torrance, California. I was there for about 12 years. I learned how to be a teacher there. I really loved my time there, but I was recruited to come here about 12 years ago and to start the computer applications program here, which is now formed into what everybody knows as CTE. I also serve as the IT coordinator and the Google administrator for all the kids and for the school itself. Graduated Cal State Dominguez Hills back in 1996, where I played men's soccer. I'm also a professional photographer, specializing in weddings, portraits, and landscapes. Actually, the photo that you see here was the People Choice winner in nature this year for the OC Fair contest, which I'm actually pretty proud of. This is Sacred Cove in Palos Verdes during winter solstice. It only happens 3 days out of the year if the tide is right and everything is good. Anyways, I'd mentioned the Adobe Certified Associate. The ACA, there are 2 ACA tests that Adobe gives, the Associate and the Expert. Part of us, what I tell the kids, paying the rent, is the fact that I need them to pass the ACA because it shows that they're proficient, and according to Adobe standards, they're proficient in whatever title that they get their ACA in. So you can get it in Premiere, InDesign, Illustrator, Photoshop, Dreamweaver, and After Effects. So Photoshop being the most relevant, obviously, for this class and what the kids are doing, Photoshop is the title that they get, and they usually get it during year 1. The first semester and part of the second semester are dedicated to getting that certification. We are also a Adobe certified testing center. However, I don't really advertise that with Adobe. I mean, they know we are, but I don't advertise it because I don't want to give tests with people from the outside who pay money to go to classes and all of that, and then they want to stay local and take the exam. So it's just kind of how, I want to keep it all in-house, and for the kids to take the exam here, we also obviously cover the exam costs. We have to be a testing center. Okay, so the class itself is based on, as much as possible, real world jobs and situations. So outside of learning all the different types of photography, I always bring them in. If I'm working a wedding or if I've got some major project going on, I'll always have students help me so they can see really what it's all about. Cal State Dominguez Hills. This was a photo that was taken by a girl who graduated last year, Jenna Rouser. We are the contracted photography team for the athletics department at Cal State Dominguez Hills. So we cover all of their home sports. 90% of their home games are played on Fridays and Sundays. So I'm not going to have the kids out on a school night. So it actually works out really well. And the kids that love volleyball or basketball, soccer, track and field, and baseball and softball, have the opportunity to go to collegiate games, Division II collegiate games, very competitive, lots of fun to watch, lots of fun to be there, and take photos. And they have the pressure of the athletic department saying, look, we need your photos at this specific time, so you need to get them done, get them in. I mean, and we have a relationship now where basically at halftime or at a set break, the chosen photographer will go there, go to the SSID, who is the student information director, and basically say, here's a photo that needs to go on the website or on the Twitter feed or the Instagram feed right now. And it's done live. And that added pressure is really what it is, for them to have to deal with that is what it's about in real life, right? And so, we don't shy away from that. And then all the photos that they have to cull those that night. I give them a laptop, the whole thing, and they get those photos up to the website so the athletic department the next morning at 5 a.m. can use what photos they need and put them in whatever archives and whatever publications that the college needs. And this is a great photo, Cal State Dominguez versus Cal State LA. And the goalkeeper, her name was Ruth Soto. She's actually from West Torrance High School. is just smashing this poor forward who's just getting lit up in the air. Nikon, we are the only high school in the country, and let me repeat that, the only high school in the country that has an educational partnership with Nikon USA. Nikon provides us with deep discounts on gear, and also provides us, more importantly, with access to their professionals, their Nikon ambassadors. Just last week, we had a Zoom meeting with 2 Nikon pros and an executive in New York with Nikon, kind of welcoming the kids to the Nikon family and just inspiring them to take photos and to experience things, and and kind of an intro to kind of what we're going to do together. Traditionally, if we were in class, Jeff Mitchell, who's one of the head sales reps for the West Coast, he would fly down and he would do a workshop for us and all of that. And there was a lot of negotiations going on for us to stay with Nikon, but it worked out really, really well. And Nikon normally will only work with colleges, but they know what we're doing here. They know what level we're doing it at, and they know the commitment that we have. And so, with all of those things, we were able to have an official partnership, which I'm very, very proud of. And the school is, couldn't be happier. It's just, another feather in the cap for Port of LA, and what we have. So, Nikon is fully supporting us and giving us the ability to use $12,000 professional lenses, when we're able to go back out and shoot sports, or if we're going to go to the zoo and shoot wildlife, and all of this, really, really great information and access to the professionals is really, really a big thing. And I just, want to be able to provide, a spark of interest and passion to these kids, and hopefully photography will be a part of their life, The National Geographic Student Expedition. Every year, and I don't know if you've heard about this or not, every year we have someone who will scholarship one student to go on a Nat Geo high school photo workshop. So last year was Jenna Rouser, who took that soccer photo that you saw earlier. Unfortunately, she chose Southeast Asia and was not able to go because of COVID. The year before that was Tamara, and this is one of the portraits that has actually won a couple of awards from 2018. And the year before that, the first winner was a student named Erick Walker, who went to Tokyo. And so I was going to show you Tamara's gallery, if I can. And just want you to see the level of photos that she's taken, and they're incredible. We did a big, huge gallery for her, and she went there. She was in Africa for almost 3 weeks, and basically it just allowed her to see the world in an entirely different light. And this trip was so important to her because it actually changed her life, and she actually has now changed her college major. Her intent is to move to New York and do humanitarian work and capture all of that on camera. And before she wanted to do fashion and design, and now she's again, this trip has absolutely changed everything that she does, and I couldn't be more proud of her. And the photos themselves, just they're just absolutely beautiful. And kind of just going through these quick, but we did a huge gallery for her for First Thursday, and it was one of the first galleries that we were welcome in, and we came out with this stuff, and we did really big prints and covered the walls with her photos, and it was very, very, very well received, and that kind of sparked the relationship that we have now with the art walk, and now every month, when we come back from COVID and we're able to do the art walk again, we will start that back up. Okay. Delivering content. How do I deliver content? So everything is through Zoom and through Google Classroom. You're more than welcome to look at the Google Classroom and see what basically it looks like. This is all from year one. This is kind of what we're doing this week, and I'll explain what MSI is in a moment. but these are all just kind of the different, assignments that we've gone through, and this was something where I gave them rules and I gave them ideas of reflections and what I needed them to shoot. They will turn this in. It's not due till Monday. We worked on a little bit of exposure and in Lightroom. So, part of the content delivery that we're doing, the year 1 kids are using their phones for cameras. The year 2 kids are using Nikon D500s that I had and Nikon also provided. And so everything has been checked out to them and they have everything they need. And every time we have a class, I ask the year 1s, do you need lenses for anything, specifically for maybe for a side project, a personal project, or maybe for the assignment that I'm asking them to do. Most of the assignments that I give them, they can do it with whatever lens I gave them. So obviously that was all pre-planned. For the year 1s, they're using their phones, like I said earlier, and so they're going to be hopefully shooting through an application called Lightroom, which is an Adobe product, and that is a professional interface that I use, with my professional work, and other professional photographers use Lightroom for their organization and for sharing and for small, simple edits. This MSI screenshot that you see right here, this is what the year 1s will be using to help train for the Adobe certification exam. Okay, it's built specifically for that purpose. This is what they'll be working with after school on Fridays and or on the weekends. We will do, the year 1s will do Photoshop projects using a online Photoshop-like software called Photopea. It literally looks exactly like Photoshop, same color, layout, tools, names, everything. I don't know how they're not getting sued. It's crazy, but they're not getting sued yet. So that's what we're going to use. And schools all across the U.S. are using Photopea as a Photoshop replacement in the event that they can't use Photoshop at home, which most students, aren't expected to have that capability. So if you see them working on this, that's what that is. It's a self-paced, not a lot of reading, more video-based curriculum. It works really, really well. I'm really happy with it, and it's I'm excited to see how well the students do. If you need to connect with me, my email is right here, miseroy@polis.net. You can find me on the website in the faculty section in the CTE department. I do text with your students using a third-party app called Remind. This app does not share any personal information. It just says, so-and-so sent you a message. Here it is. And then I respond, and I'm assuming it says, Mr. Miseroy sent you a message, or Mizzy sent you a message, and here it is. I very often will send them something and say, hey, this is what to do, or hey, remember we have this going on, or whatever. Otherwise, all the communication is done through email, and then during my tutoring hours. And my tutoring hours are Friday mornings from 9:30 to 10:30. It's an open Zoom session. Students can jump in and out as they need to, and it's worked out pretty well. It's worked out pretty well. As far as books, I teach out of my head. I don't teach out of a book. I just find it's a little bit easier that way. Okay. So again, any questions, please reach out, send me an email. Look forward to meeting you hopefully soon in person. Stay safe, and I will speak with you soon. Thanks so much.